Good morning everyone. In this video, we are going to cover the current affairs. For mobile optimized ebooks, please install GKToday Academy app. You can attempt the quiz in this app and you can read detailed explanation. For regular updates, please join our Telegram channel. The link is given in the description box. We have started a new channel, Civils Academy. You can subscribe to it if you find it relevant. For hard copy books, you can visit our website gktbooks.com. Now let's start. Which state shares a 510 km border boundary with Myanmar? So this state is Mizoram. Now recently Mizoram was in news because of political refugee issue. Actually some group from Myanmar want political asylum in India. However, Home Ministry recently directed all the state governments that state governments do not have power to grant refugee status to any foreigner. Only central government can do so. That is why the Chief Minister of Mizoram, Mr. Zoramthanga, asked the central government to grant the political asylum to such refugee from Myanmar. Please note that India is not a signatory to United Nations Refugee Convention of 1951 and its Protocol of 1967. Now first thing first, what will be the impact if we are not a signatory? See, if we are not a signatory, that means we are not bound. So it is not mandatory for us to grant asylum. Now first thing first, why we did not sign it? Our argument is the borders in our neighborhood are quite porous. Porous means they are not properly fenced. So if we sign this convention, we are bound to grant asylum to large number of people who may come through these porous borders. Right now we are doing it on our discretion. That is a different thing. And any conflict in this neighborhood region will create influx of people in our country. That's why we did not sign it. Now coming back to the geographical location of these states. So this is Arunachal Pradesh, this is Nagaland, this is Manipur, and this is Mizoram. These four states share border boundary with Myanmar. Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur, and Mizoram. Rest of the options you can directly eliminate. 2011 Istanbul Convention, which was in news recently, is associated with which issue? So this is a convention related to domestic violence and gender equality. This is also known as Council of Europe Accord. Actually, this is the formal name and Istanbul Convention is informal name since this convention was signed in Istanbul in 2011. So this is a convention to prevent and to eliminate domestic violence and to promote gender equality. Why it was in news recently? Because Turkey decided to pull out from this international accord. Now similarly, there is one more declaration was in news and it is also related to gender equality. It is Beijing Declaration. So this Beijing Declaration is a result of 1995 World Conference on Women, and this was the fourth World Conference on Women, and Beijing Declaration was a result of this World Conference. Objective is to advance the goals of equality, development and peace for all women everywhere. Now coming back to the geographical location of Istanbul, so you can see this red dot is the geographical location. If we look at closely, then this is Black Sea, this is Istanbul, this is Turkey, this is Bulgaria, and this is Caspian Sea. Naebu Naevgam Yerko, the first indigenous knowledge system school, has been inaugurated in which state? So it has been inaugurated in Arunachal Pradesh. Chief Minister is Pema Khandu. So this is a school to promote the indigenous and our traditional knowledge system, and this will help in preservation of indigenous traditions, culture and language. Recently this was inaugurated in the state of Arunachal Pradesh. To be specific, as you can see, this was inaugurated in the East Kameng district of Arunachal Pradesh. So this was inaugurated by the Chief Minister of Arunachal Pradesh in presence of Kiren Rijiju. Kiren Rijiju is the Sports and Youth Affairs Minister. Which country is to hold the Group Arabian Sea Warfare Exercise near the Gulf of Oman? So this country is going to be USA. US Navy is going to organize this naval exercise along with Belgium, France and Japan. And this will be conducted in Arabian Sea and in the Gulf of Oman. Now if we talk about the geographical location of Gulf of Oman, so this is the Gulf of Oman, this is Persian Gulf, this is Iran, Pakistan, and this is our country, India, this is Oman, this is UAE, this is Qatar and Bahrain. Now recently one more exercise was in news and it is PABI, anti-terror exercise. So this exercise will be hosted by Pakistan this year, and recently this was announced during RATS summit. RATS is Regional Anti-Terrorist structure. So this summit held in Uzbekistan. RATS is a part of SCO. What is SCO? It is Shanghai Cooperation Organization. India and Pakistan became the full-fledged member of SCO after Astana Summit in 2007. Please note that the headquarters of SCO, that is Shanghai Cooperation Organization, is not in Shanghai, it is in Beijing in China. Which country has the strongest military force in the world as per a study by Military Direct? So, China has the strongest military force in the world as per this study conducted by military website Military Direct. China is followed by USA and Russia is on 3rd position. Our country is on 4th position and India is followed by France. So these are 5 strongest military forces in the world: China, USA, Russia, India and France. Pepsu Muzara movement was a farmers' movement that happened in which Indian state? So this is a movement related to Punjab, and this movement started in 1930s. At that point of time, there was a province and the name was Pepsu. What is the full form of Pepsu? So this movement started in Punjab in 1930s. The province was called Pepsu after independence before being named as Punjab. What is the full form of Pepsu? It is Patiala and East Punjab States Union. So this movement was started by landless farmers. In fact, the meaning of this term Muzara is landless farmers. So these farmers were working on someone's land. Now this movement was started to take the ownership rights of that land after tilling it for years. Finally, the people got the ownership rights in 1952 after paying one-time compensation. So what is this entire scenario? This movement was started by the farmers so that they can get the ownership right of the land which they are tilling for the years, and they got this ownership right after paying one-time compensation. So why this movement was in news recently? Because during the farmer protest, this movement was remembered and that is why it was in news. Apart from this movement, few other movements were in news recent. One is Freedom Pineapple Movement. So we already covered this movement in our last lecture. Answer in comment box what is the objective of this movement. Apart from that, Fresh Fruit Cakes movement was also in news. Answer in comment box which state started this movement, or the people of which state started this movement. Third movement which was in news recently is 5-2's revolution. So this is your third question. Which country, or let me make it simple, which India's neighbor was in news because of this 5-2's revolution? Nawal Sadhvi, a feminist, psychiatrist and novelist who died recently, was associated with which country? So she was associated to Egypt, and she was a well-known feminist novelist and she passed away recently. Now this is the geographical location of Egypt. This is Gulf of Suez, this is Red Sea, this is Gulf of Aqaba, and this is Suez Canal, and this is Port Said, this is Mediterranean Sea. This area is Gaza Strip and it is Israel. Now recently the Suez Canal was also in news because a cargo ship got stuck in the Suez Canal. So this is a satellite image and this is the Suez Canal and this cargo ship struck this way. What was the name of cargo ship? It is MV Evergreen and it is a cargo ship of Taiwan. So as you can see in this picture, this is how it is struck on the side. And that is why the traffic in this Suez Canal was halted because of this particular event. Which day is celebrated by United Nations on 21st of March with the theme Forest Restoration, a Path to Recovery and Well-being? So on 21st of March, International Day of Forest was celebrated. The theme was Forest Restoration, a Path to Recovery and Well-being. 21st of March was also celebrated as World Down Syndrome Day. On the other hand, 22nd of March was celebrated as World Water Day. 23rd of March was celebrated as World Meteorological Day. It was also observed as Martyrs Day. On the other hand, 24th of March was observed as World Cancer Day. On the other hand, 24th of March was observed as World TB Day, that is Tuberculosis Day. Answer in comment box whether there is a vaccine for tuberculosis or not. Which union ministry is set to implement the Ken Betwa project? So this is the Ministry of Jal Shakti. So this is the first interlinkage project in our country in which river Ken is going to be linked with river Betwa. Ken river is in Madhya Pradesh, Betwa is in Uttar Pradesh. So the surplus water from one river will be transferred to water deficit river. And recently, Jal Shakti Ministry sought approval from the Public Investment Board for this project. Now please note that this river interlinkage project was also in news because of Panna Tiger Reserve. As per environment activist, this river interlinkage project will disturb this tiger reserve. So these were the most important questions. Today I have to go somewhere, so that's why we are not going to discuss the news events. The remaining events will be discussed in upcoming video. And happy Holi in advance. Thank you.